Hello, I'm Sebastian Andrew. Today I'm going to talk about, well, pretty much anything that comes to mind. I was in the car with my critic earlier today, and we were discussing the state of the world and the way things seem to be going. And one thing that we talked about, I wouldn't say we agreed on, but one thing we talked about was how we, as energy workers, should focus on ourselves rather than the world, because the world as it stands is coming apart at the seams. Um, and our own, okay, there's a channel I follow on YouTube, and I call it a Tin Hat channel. It's run by two ex journalists, husband and wife, and a lot of what they put up is conspiracy theories and a lot of fear mongering. Um, One of the latest ones, a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. Anyway, one of the things they put up recently was that we have 51 days from the time of that post, which is why I say I think it's 2 weeks, to before World War III starts. Now, other videos that they have put up have already said that World War III is already running because we have all the little wars going on, and either the U.S. is trading arms or giving arms, or Russia's giving arms, or North Korea is giving arms, or it's going to happen. I mean, the weapons thing is going to happen. World War III, I don't know. It might. It might not. We might surprise ourselves. Now, I've said before that if you wish, and if you want to expend your energy in that fashion, to give it to send supportive energy to those agencies, those armies, those countries that you um, feel like supporting. While I pay attention to the scenarios that are happening in the world, I don't put a lot of energy in them. My focus is something a whole lot different. Um, and if you follow me on Tumblr, which not a lot of people do, but you can go check it out over there. But if you follow me on Tumblr, you're going to start seeing some of what I am putting my energies into. And it sounds, the way it's going to be put across in Tumblr is that I'm world building an alternate dimension, an alternate world, someplace that I would like to see come about. Now, being Tumblr, it is very adult without pictures. I leave the pictures to your own minds. And if any of you are, and I'm sure a few of you are, if any of you are as bent and twisted as I am, you will have some very interesting pictures in your head. But one of the interesting things that I've come across while I've been creating is the idea of belief. And I've spoken of this before. But if enough people believe that something is going to happen, it can. Now that can be scary, especially in light of today's world, because if enough people believe that Captain Cheeto needs to be back in office, it's going to happen, whether we want it to or not. And if Captain Cheeto gets back into office, the violence that is going to explode across this country alone will put most battles, most wars to shame, because the Trumpers will have free reign, and they will go in an almost Putin style and go out and do bodily harm to anyone who stands against, talks against, votes against their God, for want of a better word. That's something to be scared of. And after they've gone and wiped out the Democrats, and then the independents, and then maybe it will be a real witch hunt, and they'll start hunting the witches. We'll get lumped in with the rest of the witches because we don't believe in their deity. We'll see. That was one thing I brought up with my critic too, is that if Captain Cheeto does get back into office, will the military side with him and help him on his dictatorship and his killing sprees? Or will they side with democracy and the thinking people of the country? And if they do, will that foment the civil war that some of the tin hat channels are predicting? So that's something to think about. So my overall point here is focus on what's around you. Focus on what pertains to you. If you don't want Captain Cheeto in the big White House, then focus your energies that way to have something happen, something bad for him and good for us. I'm not going to be particular about my suggestions. I'm going to leave it to you to think of things. And who knows, maybe something will happen between now and November in which we don't have to choose that particular person. We don't have to worry about putting that particular person in that particular office. That can always be a hope of ours. And maybe something different will come about, something unique. Maybe we, as energy workers, can connect together and put a different view on the horizon. Maybe. Think about it. Imagine it. Believe in it. And see what your beliefs can bring about. We'll see you again very soon.